I misheard you. I thought we were talking specific about World of Warcraft.
It's the Trinity MMO show. Now we're going to move on to an Escort Quest. Escort Quest, where we lead you to safety, experience, and the adventure of a lifetime. So, World of Warcraft has been delayed, but the pre-patch, the pre-expansion, has not. It's coming out October 13th. So the question I have is, why play the pre-patch? Now, I've never been a fan of pre-patches. I've never been a fan of those kind of things. Like, why? I'll just wait for the actual game. I understand why they happen because they download tons of stuff on your computer so that basically the day of the actual launch, you're not downloading a ton of stuff. And so you basically can jump in the game really fast. Now, this one's different. World of Warcraft is different because this one here is doing a level squishing. If you never buy Shadowlands, if you happen to have the basic game, or you basically, say you stopped at Draenor, never got the Warlords or the Battle of Azeroth, you will get squished too. So with WoW level squishing, does it make sense to play a pre-expansion? It's like one of the things where this one is more different than the other things. Like, it's almost like we should. So for Jaziel, should we, for a pre-patch play, actually play the expansion? Because this is different this time.
I would, especially. I'll go through just a few of them. I actually am right now currently working on a list of reasons to do that.
Okay.
that I was going to put on Twitter and all my social media, but um, the one thing is that this is they've done crunches before, twice before, and
Really?
yes, but not level crunch. They've done
Okay.
stat
Oh,
crunches.
yeah, good
Um,
point.
this is probably the biggest round of changes overall that they have made for a pre-patch, with taking into consideration everything back to the Burning Crusade. Um, this is huge. It is going to make it so much easier, like I said earlier, to level, and it is going to get into the game and be able to play with your friends quickly, as opposed to how it is right now, where if your buddies are all 120 and you're just now starting the game, it's overwhelming. It's like it's going to take me so long to catch up to all of you and be able to play with you, which again is something that we've, Kenneth and you and I have applauded about Elder Scrolls Online, is you can immediately play with your friends no matter what level they are, or how many championship points that they have, or hero point. Yeah. Anyway, champion points. That was right. I play too many MMOs. I'm getting the names mixed up. Um, I would say some other things to take into consideration are things that are only going to be available during the pre-patch, and once the game goes retail, they will no longer be available. If you're into collecting the pre-patch specific items, such as transmog, which a lot of folks are into, including myself, you're going to want to grab that. In previous expansions, the transmogs haven't been that great. I thought the Legion ones were kind of ugly, and that's just my opinion. But there are green and yellow, and some of them just didn't look that great, depending on what race and class that your character was. But most of the other ones were pretty cool. They looked good. I don't put them on that much because I usually put on my mythic gear or whatever. But because it tends to have more sparklies and shinies on them. But if you're just into wanting a shared experience with your friends of that pre-patch content, seeing the lead up to, um, the expansion, um, you can't put a price on those memories, and
Okay.
being able to experience all of that. The invasion that's going to be taking place again. I'm going to try to be very vague and not give away any spoilers for those who don't want it. But it is a pretty fun thing now. the fact that we're going to have pre-patch a lot longer than what we thought, several weeks, possibly longer than what we thought. I don't think there's any rush to get on right on the
Okay.
13th. Um, but if your friends are hopping on, you might as well.
Well, that's what I
I
was
think
wondering.
it's going to be a worthwhile experience. There are going to be pets and mounts and things that you can pick up and transmogs. And also, if you want to be able to right away on day one when it does release, you want to go right into Shadowlands and start your questing in that new area, you're going to need to be level 50. And
Okay.
so if like Solomon, you've been away from the game for a long time, or your friends have finally talked you into playing the game and you've never played it before, absolutely yes, come play uh, during the pre-patch. Get your character or characters leveled up. It's also a great time to see how those characters play after the stat and the level squish. Maybe when you played during Warlords of Draenor, or maybe you played during Legion and you left, or even early BFA and you said, "This, I don't like this. I'm going to go play something else." Like Kenneth and I did. We went and played Elder Scrolls Online. Um, Maybe you back then you thought, "Oh, I really love my Fury Warrior," but a lot of these classes they play different now. So
So you're saying, in other words, that I don't know about any other games besides World of Warcraft, but you're since saying
mm,
pre-patches are well worth it because it gets you started, getting ready for the new content. This
yes,
one more so than any other one because it's so much more involved. But even
right.
past ones, the idea was like, yes, you want to jump into the pre-patches because then you can get ready. There's the time frame that, or just overall. Now you're saying that for Shadowlands that I know the level switches are going down to 40, right? Or is it 50?
It's 50. If
50.
Yeah.
And
you're
then to
level 120, you will be 50
yeah, which means to
13th.
go into Shadowlands you got to be 60, right?
No, you level 50 to 60 in Shadowlands.
Okay, yeah, so I thought. So in
Yeah.
other words,
Mhm.
if you level switch in your characters in World of Warcraft with a pre-expansion and you're not 50 yet, you can go ahead and level up to 50 and then you're ready for Shadowlands.
That's right.
Okay.
And there is a really good, well, it's on the uh the realwarcraft.com site and also on wowhead.com. There is actually on Wowhead's probably the easier to read one. It will show you if you are an established player, you do have characters already that you, like I said, if you've been gone for a while, or even if you're playing right now and you're like, "Oh, I'm level 48. What level am I going to be on the 13th?" They have a chart that shows you. But also another way to do it is you just divide that whatever level that your character is by 2.4%, and that'll show you roughly
Hmm.
where you're going to be at.
Okay. So Solomon, I
Yeah.
know you played Star Wars Old Republic a lot more than I have. I think you've seen pre-patches for them too. I don't know if it's similar to WoW, but what are your thoughts about this? Should you play a pre-patch, play expansion, as we suggest here, or just wait for the game to come out?
I think it depends on the game and what it's trying to accomplish. In terms of pre-patches, I don't remember, at least with Star Wars: The Old Republic, or actually any MMO that I've played so far, of pre-patches having that kind of significant impact and such a huge change up in the way the game plays as much as what Shadowlands is doing.
Hmm.
I experienced none of the pre-patches in World of Warcraft, obviously, because again, I haven't played since Wrath of the Lich King. But like, even then, like everything that I've played, everything from Aeon to Star Wars: Old Republic to Tabula Rasa to Black Desert Online, Guild Wars 2. I mean, I could go on, obviously. Like, I don't remember there being like a huge thing where you do a pre anything, in this
Yeah,
case pre patch, for a
me
lead up
too.
to a big expansion or an update. It just doesn't happen in other MMOs. Now that's not to say, World of Warcraft is the only game that does that, but it just doesn't ring a bell to me in any MMO that I've played. So this is, when we get into it, this is definitely going to be a first for me before Shadowland comes out. So, but again, considering how how much the game is going to change and how much just everything is just going to shift. Like, I think you would need to do a pre-patch before Shadowland comes out for all the established players that who already played the game, because again, just to kind of for lack of a better term, shove this right on your lap all of a sudden, and just have this hectic flood of people also pour in, and the long server queues and all the bugs that the devs have to fix. Yeah, it's just a complete mess. So I get why they have to do a pre-patch, and it's very wise of them, in my opinion, to do so, especially considering World of Warcraft is the biggest MMO RPG on the market right now. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things play out, but definitely looking forward to it regardless.
Yeah, that's what the biggest thing that got me was that we were planning on doing a show for the launch of Shadowlands, and and I know Jazeel mentioned we got to get on the pre-patch. You can start leveling up, get ready for Shadowlands itself. Okay, so yeah, you want to try it out, and then seeing that we had people of interest actually literally thinking about having a show, a launch party of some sort for the pre-expansion. I'm like, I mean, okay, fine, right? I know the level squish. It just kind of got me. It's like, wow, should you bother? I mean, I was gonna, knowing that they delayed it, I'm like, I'm gonna delay my World of Warcraft return. But with the pre-expansion coming October 13th, I'm like, well, okay, fine. I guess I'll jump in anyways. But that's why I thought I asked the question. Kind of interesting, you know.
Just to cut in real quick,
Yep.
because I actually thought this was, I misheard you. I thought we were talking specific about World of Warcraft, but I just posted in our Discord that, ESO does kind of, they don't call it pre-patch, but they do a really good job of, especially if there's a new chapter coming out like we just had, um, they do a really good job of having a free DLC
Oh,
that leads
right.
up.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so I would
I forgot
say
that
it
one.
it does happen. It's called, it's named different, but a rose by any other name is still a rose, right?
Yeah, you're right. Because the Greymore, when it first came out, there actually was a quest to
Hmm.
get you going and get you close to Skyrim, and even gave you a taste of what Skyrim is going to be
Right.
before Greymore actually launched. That's a very good point. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, there are definitely positives if you want to get some of the content early. So you want to do the pre-patch. You don't have to. Let you just yeah, that's fine. Okay, that we escorted you well. I hope you enjoyed that. Check out the further adventures of Kennethan by liking and subscribing and watching me live on twitch.tv/Kennethan.